So things have been good here. I guess we're gonna do updates. I'm gonna keep it short. I think a lot has really happened this past week since we've had, our previous conversation. Obviously, we've talked about the gold badge. We've talked about our first game that we've ever launched. Currently, we're doing running a tournament for the game itself. We've had, I believe, almost 300 users, so 300 players that are actively participating in the game. So even given the market of Tron and the lack of, I would say traders and investors on Tron, we're certainly seeing a lot of appeal for what we're doing. So that's some good news. Um, and behind the scenes, we're continuing to build partnerships. I think right now, TRX is continually, it broke all time highs last week. It had 100% plus day. So I think for us, it's all about building behind the scenes. There's a lot of partnerships and announcements that have yet to be made. And I think, we'll probably get into it later in the discussion, but I think everyone, Zappo, Suncat, I think we're all doing the same thing where we're starting to build up the war chest of announcements and partnerships, getting ready for that Tron meme coin season that is really just around the corner. So I think we're really excited about that. And, I think this is going to be a great conversation to sort of get into the webs of what it takes to lead a project, especially on Tron. So excited for that.
Hey guys, sorry about that. And my laptop just got all glitchy. Um, which seems to be just the bane of Suncat's existence right now. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy 96 hours. So I guess to update everybody on the space here, yeah, I woke up Sunday morning about 6 o'clock in the morning after that beautiful run that we all had last week. Just feeling like there's real momentum behind us. Um, to trying to open up our X account, and it was closed down. It was suspended. So, I was talking to a couple of my co-leads and just, yeah, hey guys, like, what are we gonna do? This is a pretty big problem. They're like, well, have you submitted appeal? And I had, and they're like, check our Suncat Gmail account, and checked it, and it said your appeal has been rejected. Uh, you know, you may submit another appeal. And so we sent another appeal and immediately rejected again. So two rejections in like a matter of 5 minutes. And then sent the email, you've been rejected. Two appeals have been rejected. This case will be closed, and you will not be able to communicate from this account going forward. And I reached out to my partners here, Zappo and T-Bull, and I was like, guys, I don't know what to do. We're finally starting to get some momentum here. We don't even have a warning of what could have happened to cause a shutdown. And so was in a pretty bad headspace for 24 hours. And so uh, kind of, started looking back at our thread and saw that we had posted a image, and I think the tweet went something like "Suncat, when it drinks Red Bull, it gets wings and will fly to the sun." So we had uh, we proceed. What we've gathered is we probably when it gets copyright issues with Twitter, there's also some concerns with this Suncat account because of the former lead. It was reported that he was, had rugged, and so I think X was also trying to, do due diligence for their use situation that end was resolved. So, anyways, I was guys, I called a lawyer. We're about to yeah, an appeal to X saying that if this isn't resolved, we'll have to, um, yeah, take legal action. And my other lead ended up reaching out to the X office in Germany, which in the United States, because it's the bulk of their users is here in the States, it's all automated. And anyways, he got into touch with someone over there, and they opened in 96 hours. What was amazing about that though is uh, our price stabilized, and I think that's one of the greatest blessings from the last week's pump is we're sticking around that 5 million market cap, and we're our holders grew. We actually finally crossed that 21K threshold holder. Um, Come on
Sorry, guys.
here
I'm just going to jump in. Is it me or JS? Can you also hear John's breaking up a little bit now?
Yeah, it's a little spotty on my end as well.
Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you,
Hey
Zeppo.
Zappo, can you hear
I
me?
can hear you, T-Bull.
Hold on.
Okay.
Wait, maybe it's me.
I no, I yeah, I think something's going on with my internet here. Can everybody hear me? Can I get a thumbs up from the
Apologies,
crowd
guys.
here?
I've just tried to connect to a different internet. Can you hear me all right now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Zappo.
Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to interrupt you. It just started breaking up quite a bit, so I'll let you carry on.
No worries. Yeah, so I was just saying, across that our 21K holder threshold and our account engagement has gone up substantially since we've been reinstated. So that has taken up the bulk of our time. Of course, still working with different projects and different uh, collaborations, but uh, we're just in a state of gratitude for getting that account back because that is, as I know, two of our partners here have both expressed that they've experienced something quite similar. It's really freaking hard to kind of break that suspension back open to us receiving that account again. So, anyways, that's what's going on over here.
Thanks, John. I mean, look, firstly, I remember you messaging us a few days ago, and it was hard to see what you were going through, and it's good to see that you guys are back with the account stronger than ever. And look, sometimes these things happen; they happen for a reason, and we will see how a lot of this plays out over the next few weeks and how it makes us stronger, right? I think, look, from our perspective, it's quite simple, and I agree with quite a bit of the stuff JS also mentioned. First thing, everyone from a community perspective, it's difficult for a lot of people to understand because I'm sure JSU and John, you see that in your own engagement with the community where people are asking for news every single day. Why? Because they get a bit impatient, right? And I think one thing I can perhaps share with everyone in this space is really important to know that good news is really good news at the right time. However, good news at the wrong time is not really any news. It doesn't really make any impact. So timing is absolutely everything in these markets. And from our perspective, we're basically doing exactly the same thing as some of the stuff JS and John are doing for T-Ball and Suncat. We're basically building up the ammunition in the background with partnerships, with potential exchange listings coming up, all of that to start announcing those things at the right time. Why? Because let's look at exchanges, for example, right? There is no point going on an exchange when the spotlight is not sat on Tron memes and in the ecosystem and on us as a project. Why? Because then the volume doesn't exist. And if the volume doesn't exist, it becomes, yes, being on exchanges helps the volume a little bit, but it also makes it very difficult to keep the waves going and the momentum going. So a lot of the stuff we'll talk about as we go forward, right? Because timing is everything for us. And right now, all I can tell you is a lot of the bits we've discussed over the last 3 or 4 weeks with partnerships, KOLs onboarding, and all of that kind of stuff, we're working on quite heavily. And we've got a massive catalog of things we will start announcing at the right time. When that time comes, you will see announcements happen like a domino effect. It will happen very quickly because you have to make the most when the spotlight is on you. Right, let's get into the thick of the conversation and part of why we're all here today. For those of you who don't know, well, actually, none of you know, I personally come from a massive sales background. So I've worked in the corporate sales business for a very, very long time. And one of the key things that we learn within sales is you have to understand the why of why someone's looking to buy something, why they're interested in something, why they're looking at starting a business. And simply, what I'd like to do is start off by asking my co-host as to why they decided to get into this space and why they specifically decided to get into the Tron meme space and what bits do they enjoy with what they do. So, John, do you want to take this one first?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, this is going to